corporate world and the entrepreneur world, these are two different things. And I would say sometimes the corporate network might be of help, but if you're starting off with altogether something different, you just cannot rely on your years of network that you have built in the corporate world. So you might be left to struggle, create a fresh network, create a fresh clientele, I would say. So you think of losing all your network, you might be prepared with that kind of a mindset that, the existing network is of maybe no use. So that risk appetite should be there within you. Then, the second point is you will not be getting your monthly paychecks. So you have to be very clear that, in the next coming 6 months, this risk is going to come and hit you very badly, because your own finances will be depleting. You are not getting the monthly paycheck. So you still have to be running and motivated for your work and not look so much worried about your finances, because all those things should actually be sorted out and your mindset would be clear about where you're going to head to. Then you also should know that when you're working in the corporate, you have a team, you have a hierarchy, you have mentors, you have coaches. There are many people who can work for you, as well as you can depend on others for taking lot of inputs. When you are starting off with your own journey, it might happen that you have to jump into troubled water on your own with no help at all. So the other fact is, for how long can you stay outside and not swim? One day or the other, you will have to swim, and you have to swim alone. There might be people coming with you, but no one can be taken for granted. It is always you that you have to depend on yourself. So, depending on others is very difficult, and that's where the difference from the corporate and the entrepreneur world comes. Then, the not so important point, but then definitely there is something about not being felt so needful. So when you leave the corporate job, in corporate you are needful, you are a value addition to the ecosystem that you belong to. But when you leave the corporate world, you suddenly feel as though there is no value addition to the ecosystem, because the people that you are meeting is your family, your friends. So all of a sudden you would feel as though you're not adding anything, or your presence is not as important as it was before, because you get used to this corporate world so much that when you are on your own journey with your own business and startup, you start missing that importance that was always given to you. Then, I would say when you start off with this entrepreneurship, initially you might get a dip in your bank balance, because something that you plan for might not go the way you think. It might not give you immediate break even in your finances. So, you will have to be that courageous, that risk taker, to sustain your presence even if it is not giving the returns, and be there with your own perseverance to pull it off as long as much time it takes.